Today we are taking steel pipe and pipe caps and turning them into tungsten holders. Because if you're like me, you dislike this style. I don't know why I dislike it, I just don't. Plus, these look cool when they're done. They'll look something like this as a finished product. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take these, I'm going to take them over to the bandsaw, and I'm going to cut this side off, and we'll TIG weld these caps onto the end, and these ones will thread on, and that'll be your holder. And then we can engrave the side or color code them, do whatever you want. So I'm going to take these over to the bandsaw, and then we can start assembling. Alright, got the threaded end cut off of one side, which leaves us with the perfect amount or perfect length for the tungsten. Now obviously when I put the cap on, there's going to be a little more room, but these are about 7 inches long, 7-8 inches I think. Yeah, 7-inch tungstens. So lose an inch on the one end and it's perfect. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm going to use a die grinder. You don't have to. I'm just going to do it because my cuts aren't perfect. I don't have a super square bandsaw and I didn't want to set up the small one. I'm going to take some of these threads out. They're going to slip over the end, and then we will weld them with the new TIG welder. Alright, got the threads out of these. I made them pretty tight so they press together. I did not record any of that because I forgot. So now we're going to clean these up, some emery cloth and some solvent because we're TIG welding them, and then I'll tack them all and weld them. Alright, got these clean. My hands aren't, but it's not that big of a deal as long as I don't touch the weld area. Get them cleaned up, some emery cloth. I sprayed them down with some brake cleaner. Technically you could use acetone, but I usually reserve that for aluminum. I've got a small sheet just so I can ground here and not have to clamp each pipe. Now I just need to put this bottle of gas on the welder, and I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but in my opinion that blue cap is a really fun projectile. How, Jesus, they made that tight. Oh, hey, there it goes, all the way down there. Real fun. But I'm gonna put that on there, start welding, set up the torch, get after it. Alright, for those of us who don't know how to set up a torch or have never TIG welded before, you have four main parts. One more time, 5 main parts. It's been a minute. You have your cup, your collet holder, your backer, people call them different things, and your tungsten. So to assemble the torch, you want to open this right side up, get those out of the way. You want to take, I'm using a longer tungsten, so I'm going to take the longer backing or backer. They also have the short one for when your tungstens get shorter. I prefer, for projects like this, a number 6 cup. This guy, you see they're labeled number 6. We have our collet holder here, and we have 3 different size collets. So the collet you have to match to your tungsten. So I bought 3 32nd tungstens. They are 1.5% laminated. They're good. They're just kind of good all around. So I need to find the 3 32nd which should be this guy right here, if I'm not mistaken. 2 point. Are these all in millimeters? Yeah. So these are all millimeter size, so I'm going to find the closest one. It'll tighten up. We're going to take and open our tungstens. Going to grab one. Now this one is not sharpened yet. I will do that off camera because it's pretty boring. That definitely isn't it. That ain't it. That's the ticket. So you want it, I don't know how well you can see that, but you want it to be pretty tight in there. So then I'll show you how to assemble this, then I will go sharpen this tungsten. So first step, take your collet holder, and on the white end of your torch, you're going to thread it in so it looks like so. Then you'll take your cup, thread your cup on. Then you take your properly sized collet, drop it in the back. Tungsten goes in. That's obviously too much stick out. You'll set your stick out. Then your backer goes on. And that's how you set up your TIG torch. So now I'm going to take this tungsten out and go sharpen it, and then grab some filler wire. We can get to welding. Alright, so got my tungsten sharpened, and I have my stick out set. Then to hold these up while I am welding them, I just have these little, I think 99-cent clamps from Home Depot. I'm going to tack these 2 or 3 places, and then we start welding. Okay, so one more thing before I actually start welding. I have the welder set about 80 amps. I am using a foot pedal, so you know what, I'm actually going to turn it up a hair. I got my post flow at, why did it go up to 2? No, I did set it to 2 seconds. All right, post flow at 2 seconds, pre-flow half a second. No upslope, no, none of that. That's where I have that. I have my argon at 15 CFH. We're going to clean up these rods with a Scotch-Brite until they are silver in color, or raw steel, just so we don't get any inclusions. And then we start tacking and welding. Now, to tack it, probably not going to use any filler. Unless it won't connect, then I will. Just quick burst, let the puddle connect, and good to go. Just like so. Little, super nice, neat, tiny tack. We'll do that 2 more times, and then we'll weld this one out. tack, 2 tacks, and 3 tacks. You can see how nice, tiny they are, but that is very solid. So now we are going to make an attempt to put some filler wire in there. It's going to be, I'm not going to be able to feed it with this hand, but I think I can hold it and just kind of do it in a couple different sections. So we're going to find out, see how it goes. Now, you're technically supposed to clip the end of that off once it gets oxidized, which is after every weld, but this isn't structural, or it doesn't need to be a sound weld, you know what I mean? It's just, it's decorative at this point. So I'm gonna leave it, it welds okay. Let's keep going. Just moving that a little more comfortable position for me. Move you guys over here. Maybe that's, we'll see if that's a little bit easier to see. Oh man, that's still pretty sharp. And that is why a sharp tungsten is important. It will not make a good puddle, so I'm going to go resharpen this and finish out this weld. Alright, that first weld is completed. Sorry. Obviously, I am not the best welder in the world, and I'm working with one of 2 hands. Fully working, fully functioning anyway. So, fully welded all the way around. The heat affected zone could be a little more consistent, but it looks cool. So, got the nice coloring on the cap. So, that is one completed as soon as I thread that guy on there. I mean, it's pipe thread, so it's only going to grab 2 or 3 threads, but that's all you need is to grab. Just has to stay closed. And that is much too hot to grab. Alright, so we've got our weld. It's all cool, nice, colorful. Now the top, now being national or NPT, it's not going to thread down all the way, which that doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, you can instead of buying NPT pipe and caps, you can just thread them normally. But got our tungstens in there. Alright, now that I've got one made, I'm going to do this one a slightly different way. I'm not going to use filler. So I'm just going to fusion weld it and see if I can't get it to run, because using filler was harder than I thought it would be with my hand. So I'm going to run this, what's the proper term? I've been out of school for like 2 years. Just no filler. Alright. So that's the androgynous weld. I remember the word. It near the end, it's still kind of wet, but near the end it did, with this being cast, it did crack a tiny bit, but I'm not worried about it because obviously it's more decorative than anything. Alright, for about $32 in materials, you can go from flimsy plastic cases to steel forever holders. And then if you want to be really fancy, you can, instead of using tape, engrave. I use tape because I'll probably swap them out at some point, but you can take this and hose clamp them or something to your welder or your wall. You can use a magnet like this and stick them up on the wall somewhere. It's all up to you. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, like this video. If you have project ideas, leave them in the comments and we'll have a look at them.